Always ask a foreigner about their experience in China. If you ask for a local's opinion, they're going to give you a very different experience. Are you thinking of visiting China? Well, these are the top 10 apps you will need to install on your smartphone before visiting mainland China. During my visit to China, I got scammed, my phone died, I couldn't buy anything, and I even got stranded in a Chinese city for one night. Make sure you don't make that same mistake because you're going to need the apps in this video. If a local tells you that doesn't happen in China, well, I'm going to tell you one thing. As a foreigner, your experience is going to be very, very different from a local's. This is the video I wished I watched before visiting China, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, the first and most important thing when visiting China is having a VPN, a virtual private network, because in China there is a firewall across the whole entire country. You cannot access Google, you can't access Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all inaccessible. What you do have is Baidu, Bilibili, and all these different Chinese apps you probably don't have an account for, and also will probably really struggle signing up for. So make sure you can access your email, banking information, because it's all most probably gonna be blocked, as I learned the hard way. So the first thing is Let's VPN. Now you might think, oh, I have NordVPN, I have CyberGhost VPN, it's gonna be no problem, I have a VPN. Well, I had a NordVPN membership, none of them worked. I am literally honest, I tried every single server in every country, it just did not work. And then I tried ExpressVPN. I think I got a couple to work, but it was very spotty. I don't know if it's a conspiracy, but the only app that seemed to work for me was Let's VPN. You can install this on your phone, you can install it on your laptop, iPad, whatever, and you can share the account across all of your devices. It's the only thing that just seemed to work for me. I don't know why, I have no idea, but it works out around 26 US cents for one day. So if you're visiting for 30 days, it's not really that much money, just so you can access travel tickets in your email or anything else. But it's an absolute game changer. It's going to give you access to Instagram, YouTube, and probably your family and friends back home. Number one, VPN, very important. Okay, number two, this is probably the most important app you're going to need on your phone, and that is Alipay. Make sure when you sign up for Alipay you do it before you leave to China, because it's going to ask you for your passport, it's going to ask you for all different informations, SMS verification, and it's going to be very hard to set that up when you land in China, and you might not even have internet. And even if you do have internet, it's a little bit tricky. So Alipay is king. If you go to buy anything at any shop ever in China, they're going to have a QR code, and you scan that and you pay with Alipay. It links with your bank, and the money automatically gets withdrawn from your bank or credit card for that purchase. I'm not talking about big shops, I'm not talking about huge businesses, I'm talking about everything. Street food vendors, some old lady in the market selling fruit and vegetables. Everybody uses Alipay or WeChat, or at least a QR code. If you pay by cash, they're gonna look at you like you're absolutely crazy, like you have worms crawling out of your ears. No one uses cash in China unless maybe you go into a very rural area. So Alipay, you need it for everything. And it has mini apps installed within the app itself. So it's a weird concept. You can book DD taxis, which is like Uber. You can do travel tickets, all different things in Alipay. It's not just a payment app, it is a very large encompassing app with many different apps inside it, and you can add more mini apps, and it gets very confusing very quickly. The third one is WeChat. Now this kind of sits alongside Alipay as like a payment app, so you can do many things with that as well. You can book tickets, taxis, all different things. So set up Alipay and set up WeChat. Now the thing with WeChat, it also has like WhatsApp built into it, but it's not called WhatsApp, it's called WeChat. So if you meet a local and you think they're pretty cool, you want to hang out, drink some beers later, they're gonna say, what's your WeChat? Oh, I don't know, I only have Alipay. Well, you need WeChat as well, because it has a very big social aspect as well. So if you meet anyone in China, they're gonna ask you what your WeChat is. You probably don't even have Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, probably don't even know what it is, right? So WeChat, very important. But when using WeChat, you have to use it very carefully. Don't make political statements or jokes. The app is watching everything you say, so everything is monitored. I think I made a joke one time to my friends and my account got banned for 2 weeks, but it was just a joke about something completely irrelevant, and then I had to contact customer support and it took 2 weeks to figure out, so I was without WeChat. Just be careful what you say. Don't even say anything. Just use it for tickets and payments. It is a nightmare. And if you add too many friends too quickly, your account will also get flagged and you need to find someone who's been on the platform for 6 months to let you back in. Total nightmare. Okay, the next one is AMAP. Now, AMAP is like Google Maps for your phone. Imagine everything you do on Google Map, you can do on AMAP. Now, if you go to China with Google Maps thinking, oh, I have Google Maps, it's absolutely fine. What are you talking about? Google Maps is not very good in China. Many businesses are missing, they're not even on there. And if you change the layer to the satellite view, the streets don't line up with the satellite images. The roads go through buildings. Nothing is accurate at all. Google Map is good for orientation, so you turn your phone, you know which way north and east is quite quickly. Other than that, it's pretty useless. But AMAP is very good. It's very clunky, it's a bit slow. If you're walking around, it doesn't adjust GPS very quickly, but you can search for Chinese businesses. There's a translate overlay as well, so you can sort of roughly translate what you're seeing. Like I say, it's a bit clunky, nothing is perfect, but you'll probably need AMAP if you're walking around, because it's quite hard to find your way around sometimes, so I'd say a definite must. The next one is Didi. Now, Didi is built into Alipay, WeChat, so it's like a mini app. So if you've registered with Alipay or WeChat and you click the Didi mini app inside there, then it's going to pass on your information to there and automatically sort of create you a Didi account. So you don't really need the standalone Didi app, you can do it through Alipay or whatnot. Now, I got scammed with Didi and I went from Shenzhen, which is the city near Hong Kong, to Guangzhou. The taxi ride was maybe 1.5 hours. Sometimes when you register, you pay up front. Other times you pay when you get there. I found it to be a bit random when that happens. But when you arrive at your destination, the driver is supposed to swipe the app to confirm that he's dropped you off at the destination. In my experience, and I made a video about this, is I arrived at the destination, the guy didn't end the trip and drove 1.5 hours back to where I started and also added on a cleaning fee. So my trip went from, I think, $40 all the way up to 100 and something. I got basically scammed. So scams can happen. It's quite unlikely because they can get in serious trouble. But they can happen. So just make sure if you take any taxi or Didi or anything, make sure you watch the driver and the trip before you get out the car. So Didi you can access through Alipay or you can download the app, doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna throw in a little bit of a pro tip now. If you're planning on getting a flight within China, so not internationally going in and not internationally going out, but from Chinese city to Chinese city, so a domestic flight, then make sure you're not traveling with any batteries or power packs without the 3C mark. So if you have a phone portable battery, it's in your carry-on, it's in your personal item, it's in your checked luggage, then they will find it. I've been in the passport queue and a random guy in uniform called me over because my checked bag got flagged. They took me to a little room, they found a battery in there, they looked on the battery and it didn't have the 3C mark, they just threw it in the trash. You're going to lose your battery if it doesn't have the 3C logo. Pro tip, but that's only domestic flights only. You do have the option to send it somewhere, but this is where China's a bit weird with international people, because you need an address in China for them to send it to. It usually goes by FedEx, and it's not very supported well for international visitors. So basically you're going to lose your item, right? Okay, The next thing are eSIMs. Now, this isn't really an app for your phone, it's more like a SIM card. So back in the day, we would visit a country, we would get a small SIM card for that country, you put it in your phone, and then you have a number, and then you can access internet and all that stuff. Now with this modern age, we have eSIM, which is just a SIM card you can't visibly see. So you buy an eSIM online, the QR code arrives in your email, you scan it with your phone, and then it acts like a SIM card. So it's basically a SIM card you can't see, but it acts like a SIM card. It gives you like a data plan, some gigabytes per week or per month. But the eSIMs, when visiting China, have a VPN built into them. So when you're using your SIM card, it thinks you're in a surrounding country like Japan, Singapore, or Hong Kong, which means you don't need Vet's VPN or a VPN app if you have an eSIM with a VPN built in. So if you're confused, leave a comment below. But what I did, because I had a laptop, I had Let's VPN, but I also had an eSIM with a VPN built in. If you get an eSIM for China, it's probably going to have a VPN built in by default, because they know, everyone knows they can't access most of the internet from China. A pro tip there, if you're getting a SIM card, make sure it has a VPN built in. It shouldn't be any extra money. And if you want a link to get a cheap eSIM or a cheap VPN, then I'll put some links in the video description below, check them out. 100% you're going to need it. When visiting China, there's two websites which are very good, and that is trip.com and Agoda. And I think a bonus shout out to Get Your Guide as well. So Get Your Guide is good for doing tours and things. Trip and Agoda are pretty good because if something goes wrong, you'll either get a full discount or a partial discount. So you're going to be somewhat protected. If you go into a Chinese hotel with, well, not cash, but Alipay, QR code, then there's no comeback. It's very hard to get a refund in China. The policies aren't really there, if I'm honest. But if you go through Trip or Agoda, you get some comeback. So you get a room, there's something wrong, you can complain to Trip or Agoda. There's English support, and it's just so much better. And really the price isn't much different as well. And another thing, when I went to see the Terracotta Army, I went to see local tour companies. They say, we don't take foreigners. And apparently that's quite normal. I don't know if it's an insurance thing, a language thing, but they said we don't take foreigners. And I found that to be very common. But if I book with Get Your Guide, Trip or Agoda, then it's absolutely no problem. You get an English speaking guide and you get comeback if something goes wrong. So it's really a win-win. So the next one you almost definitely need is a translation app, unless you speak Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese, whatever you speak, right? But I don't think there's many people out there that speak every single dialect of China. But a translation app is always good to have. If you go out to eat, even in the center of cities, it's very common to have Chinese menus. I did the Terracotta Warriors, there wasn't much English there. I did the old wall around Xi'an, no English there. So even when you think you're paying a premium as a tourist to do a tourist attraction, there's still not too much English there. And I'm not talking about English, I'm talking about Spanish, I'm talking about Portuguese, all different languages. I think China is very good in major cities, kind of, but they still need a lot of work to do with getting and supporting international tourists. It's not very diverse. So apps, Pleco, very good. Google Translate is terrible, but it has a camera feature where you can just get the gist. So if you only want a gist, like what does this one word mean, or what's in my soup, kind of works, but it's not very accurate. In all honesty, the best translation app you can use is Grok, ChatGPT, or some AI tool, because it doesn't do a literal translation. It takes the elements and the circumstance and then sort of tells you what it really means with feeling and everything else. It's not a literal translation. So AI chat was very good. What I recommend is getting ChatGPT or Grok or something. Then start a dialogue. Just say, ChatGPT, can you start a dialogue with me from English to Chinese? My safe word is coconut. So anytime I say coconut, break out of the dialogue and let me talk to you properly. That's all you need to do. And then you just use your microphone and say, hello, how do I order a tomato soup or something like that. It'll give you exactly how they would understand, and you can switch the dialect or anything else. It's just the best thing that's worked for me on my whole trip. The next one is Mai Tuan. Mai Tuan? I'm not sure how to say it, but Mai Tuan is like food delivery. So you're in a hotel, you're hungry, you want to order food. This one is tough, right? I managed to sign up to Bilibili, all these different Chinese things, but this one eluded me because they want a local Chinese number, something you can't really get very easily if you have an eSIM, because eSIM is more like a data plan. So you need like a local SIM card with a number, you need a passport. Sometimes the SMS verification doesn't work, and it was an absolute nightmare. But the good thing about a lot of cities in China is everything is almost open all the time, so you can just go out and there'll be some old lady or some old man cooking stuff into like 4 a.m. in the early hours of the morning, so it's not really too much to worry about. But if you can get access to a local Chinese number or a temporary Chinese number where you can check a verification thing, then Mai Tuan is like Uber Eats, things like that, you know, Deliveroo, that's the equivalent. Okay, so they're my top 10 must-have apps for your phone when visiting China. Please don't go without these apps. You will be stranded, you won't know where to go, you won't be able to pay for anything, and you're going to be royally screwed. If you think the metro system or the train accepts cash at these machines, then you are joking. Trust me. It's from experience. And I hope you enjoyed the tip about the portable battery. If you think there's anything I left out, comment below. But please remember, always ask a foreigner about their experience in China. If you ask for a local's opinion, they're going to give you a very different experience. Trust me, and you're going to learn that for yourself as well. Do you think people scam local people of the local country who speak the language? No, of course they don't. But if you're a Western-looking individual with blue eyes getting in a DD, there are possibilities of scams being taken advantage of, or anything else. It does happen, but always get an experience from a foreigner. They've been there, they have the experience. But these are my top 10 apps for you. Anything else? You've been to China, leave your expertise in the comments below so everyone can learn from each other. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to learn about the culture of China, like the weird stuff, the NPCs, racism and everything else, then I've made a completely separate video on that, concluding my 40 days in China. If you need any of these links for these apps, check the video description. I put in every link so you can download everything you need for Android and iPhone. Enjoy your trip to China, and make sure you watch my other videos as well. Take care guys, and I'll see you in the next video coming soon. Goodbye.